European artificial intelligence bosses have sounded the alarm over compliance costs in the EU. Deutsche Welle correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu joins us now from Berlin. Chiponda, g'day. So what have AI bosses been saying?
Well, Joe, one AI boss we spoke with didn't mince his words. Oleg Stavinsky, whose company makes an AI-powered app, told us that regulation and bureaucracy is strangling innovation in the EU, and it isn't just stifling small players, but also big tech. And of course, that is something that we have seen. Tech giants, including Apple and Facebook owner Meta, are withholding some of their most advanced AI models from the European market. In June, Apple said it would delay the release of 3 AI-powered features in the EU because of an uncertainty over how the Bloc's Digital Markets Act would affect those features. Now, this is not the first time that we've seen that happen. Last year, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said that his company would cease operating in Europe if it couldn't comply with the EU Digital Markets Act. And of course, that was prior to the regulation taking effect.
So why are we seeing this tension between Brussels and the tech firms?
Well, this is really about business models, competition, and consumer protection. Now, the aim of the EU's Digital Markets Act is to create an environment that allows smaller players to compete, so the law targets tech giants that are considered gatekeepers. And then there's also the AI Act. Now, that was signed off in May this year. That regulates the use of artificial intelligence in situations and sectors that are considered very sensitive, and that includes law enforcement and employment. AI systems used in such areas need to show that they are transparent, accurate, and fulfill cybersecurity standards while meeting criteria regarding the quality of data used to train them. So that's a lot. The EU's legislation is the world's first regulation on artificial intelligence, and it goes beyond the voluntary compliance approach in the US. And of course, it could have a significant impact across the world.
And so indeed, what impact will the EU's AI regulation have?
Well, what we are now seeing is, of course, an effort by the EU to protect consumers in Europe and encourage competition. And that is, of course, something that hasn't gone down well with tech firms. So they see the restrictions as a cost and a limitation to innovation. But the world is, of course, watching to see how they respond to the rules in the EU, especially as more AI systems are used and the technology is increasingly scrutinized. Policymakers will want to see what they can learn from how Brussels is dealing with AI. And of course, at the end of the day, this is really about getting the balance right between protecting consumers and fostering innovation.
Okay, Chiponda Chimbelu, thanks so much for that from Berlin. The streets of Melbourne CBD have been jammed to